Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We're on the road to 100K, man. Let's get there. Let's do it, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We got this thing going on over here. This positive energy. We trying to save lives. Keep dudes out this penitentiary throwing their lives away, as well as the little young women, the little young queens out there throwing your life away over foolishness. That's what we trying to do over here. So we trying to spread this message everywhere. So let's get to 100K, and then we going to 500K, then we going to 1 million. Let's get it. Today I wanted to talk about the transition, man. The transition from prison back to the streets. It's a hard transition. I can't lie to you. And people have been watching me for the last 2 years. I guess they figure did everything is all gravy, but it's not. It's a heck of a transition, because you've been in a lifestyle for so long that, in my case, I was in that lifestyle more than I was on the street. So it's a bigger transition for me, because this is the life that I really know. You know, the violence, the craziness, the foolishness, the larceny, all of that stuff. It becomes an everyday part of your life. So when you get out of here, not to say that it's not out here in the free world as well, because it is. But when you get out of here, you got to get yourself out of that frame of mind, you know, and being around a lot of people at a lot of time with a lot of movement, you know, you stay paranoid. You know, I stay paranoid. I'm still paranoid, you know. So you stay paranoid because you're not used to that, because usually you got to watch everything around you when you're in prison. Everything around you, because the dude that's walking beside you might be the dude that put that Bethlehem in you, you know, and you may not know the reason. It may be for somebody else. It may be for something that you and him had a long time. All types of things goes on. So when you get out of here, you be looking at people like that, especially like when you're in places like Walmart or the big stores or whatever. You looking and watching everybody because you paranoid, you know. So a lot of dudes come out here, man, and they can't make that transition. And a lot of dudes that was getting high in there, they come out here and they can get higher, you know. They got more access to it, so that throws them off track. A lot of dudes come out here, they not focused, they not prepared, they still live with the penitentiary mindset, and it set them back. It set them back a lot, man. And I've seen some dudes that come out around the time that I came out and after, or around about, that I knew since I was locked up. And man, it's been tragic, man. It's been tragic. It hurt my heart to some of the things that happened to dudes, man. The first one coming to mind to me is Low, right? Low was in Not Away with me in 2000. I was on Not Away from 2014 to 2020 when I made parole. So Low probably came in my block maybe about 2017. And good dude. Real good dude, man. Very articulate, very sharp. He was a spoken word artist. He got in Black History Month competitions and a talent show competition with his spoken word, and he won quite often. He was real talented. He shocked me with his talent with that. He was real talented. I mean, he go deep. He go deep, man. He makes you think. It's consciousness. He was a real sharp brother, man. And he did a lot of kickboxing. You know, he used his feet in kickbox. So when he found out that I used to box and I boxed a lot and go down to the gym and be working out, he wanted to work with me with the boxing just so he could learn how to use his hands, you know, more so without using his feet. So I used to work with him because me and him was cool. He was a cool dude. He was all right. He was a good guy, man. And I used to work with him, talk to him, chop it up with him about Black history, talk to him about life, talk to him about a lot of different things. And he was a smooth brother, man, as far as like in prison, the dude that always kept himself up, always took pride in his appearance, always worked out, always tried to stay in shape. And he was a young brother, you know. So when I got out, I think Low got out after me. And I remember when he was out, somebody had told me that Low got out. He got transferred before I made parole. So I heard that he had got out, and he's up in the area that I'm in. I'm in Tidewater area. I'd never been in Tidewater area before I was, you know, in prison. I came to Tidewater area after I got out of prison because some of my family had relocated here, and that's who I ended up moving in with, my sister. So somebody told me that he was out in this area, and, you know, he had got out or whatnot, and I was like, oh man, I hope I run into him, you know, and ain't nobody had no contact information on him, but I was definitely hope I run into him because he was a good dude, and like I said, we had did a lot of things, and we had sparred together a lot of times, man. I remember one time I went in the gym, and you know how you go in the gym, sometimes you feeling yourself. I was feeling myself. So a lot of dudes was in there, and they was around, and I went over and hit the bag for a little while, and then a lot of dudes was over there with the gloves, and they was sparring. You know, they was getting it in. Dudes be sparring in there. They was getting it in. I'm talking about live contact. They hitting each other and everything. So Low over there, he taking on all comers. You know what I'm saying? He taking on all comers. He feeling himself too. And Low a big dude, man. Low probably about 6'1", probably about 185, but he cut up, shredded, you know, and he stays in good shape. So Low over there, you know, giving dudes the business or whatnot. And after I done hit this bag for a while, I'm feeling myself. So I go over there and I'm watching all of them spar. So now everybody want me to spar, but, you know, not being arrogant, just being honest. I mean, I'm looking at these dudes like, I mean, they can't mess with me. And ain't no need for me to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to embarrass nobody. I ain't trying to get in nobody's ego. None of that. You know, so Low was like, yeah, you seen what I just did to him? Because he was lining them up. And I was like, yeah, I said, I don't know how to get out of the way of punches. So Low was like, well, show him then. Show him how to get out of the way of punches. So I said, who I'm showing with? Show him with me. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody look like, go ahead, Bank, go ahead, Bank. So I take my gloves off. I take them off. I said, okay, I'm just on defense. I ain't even going to hit you. I ain't got no gloves on. You just do what you do. If you can hit me, hit me. If you can knock me out, knock me out. He was like, you dead? You serious? I'm like, yeah, if you can knock me out, man. I mean, get your best shot. So I go up on him and everything, and he started, you know, getting his stance or whatever. So he started swinging, slinging blows at me. I'm slipping, I'm dipping, I'm dodging. Boom, I'm getting out of the way. I'm using my feet, I'm moving. So I could see he was trying to hit me. But then when everybody was oohing and ahhing, because it's always the crowd, they oohing and ahhing, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he can't. You know, he started slinging that heat. Bang, bang, boom, boom, boom. He trying to hit me, showing up. He trying to take my head off. So I had to pick up the pace, so I'm moving, and I'm dodging, dipping, and boom, slipping out the way, getting out the way of his punches, and he can't hit me. You know what I'm saying? He can't hit me. And Goldie will remember this, because Goldie was there. Goldie will remember this, man. He was slinging blows at me, trying to knock my head off, but he could not catch me. I think he caught me one time on the top of the head, where I miscalculated, boom, hit the top of my head, but it slid right off. So it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? We went a whole round like that. 3 minutes, he couldn't lay a glove on me like that. So then Goldie was like, let me try. So Goldie put on the gloves. He trying to hit me too. Goldie a big old dude. Y'all seen Goldie. Goldie a big old dude. You know, got a lot of power because he big, but he's slow. He couldn't hit me at all. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hit me at all. He remembered this day that I'm talking about. But yeah, you know, we had fun like that, man. Just enjoying ourselves or whatever, you know. And he got out, man. And it was just a tragic story. I think I spoke about it before on one of these YouTube videos, but I think Low did like 16 years, 17, 16 years, somewhere up in the area. He ended up getting out. He had bad blood with his brother. His biological brother said that his brother was, you know, really not doing right by him when he was locked up, because supposedly his brother was out here on the street getting money, you know, doing his thing, shaking and baking. And he really wasn't looking out for Low like Low felt like he should. This you my brother. You out here getting all this money, driving these cars and doing all this stuff. You ain't even really sending me money like that. So I don't know how deep it ran, but obviously it ran real deep, because Low got out, man, and he was out here for a little while, and I guess, you know, the blood between him and his brother got even deeper, and They had it on video, man. It's on video somewhere. It was circulating around here. A dude actually sent it to me. Goldie actually sent it to me. He called me one day. He was like, man, you heard what happened to Low? I said, what happened to Low? He said, man, it's crazy. He said, I can't even tell you. So I can't even tell you. I got to send you the video. I'm going to send you the video. So you check it out. And when it come back, man, just hit me up. Hit me up. Let me see it. You got to see it. So I said, all right, send it to me. So he sent me the video. When I look at the video, man, it just breaks my heart, man. It was just so crazy, man. Low brother was in the restaurant with a girl. And obviously, the restaurant had cameras outside of the restaurant that pointed directly in front of the restaurant. So his brother had parked in front of the restaurant. So when him and the girl come out of the restaurant, Low is behind the car, in the front of the car, you know, squatted down. When the girl's going to one side and Low brother is going to the other side, Low just pop up from behind the car and just start shooting, man. He just started shooting. He shoot his brother. His brother take off running. He chase his brother down. He stand over top of his brother, man, and shoot him about 6 or 7 times, man, in cold blood, man. It just looked, I mean, it just looked horrible. It looked like a movie scene. You know, he actually killed his brother. Dumped on him, dumped the bullets in him, and turned around and ran off. And it got caught on camera. Now, I don't know if it because it was caught on camera and everybody knew who did it, or everybody knew that it was him that made him do what he did next, but his brother actually passed away. And to my understanding, he went to a whole nother state, checked in a hotel, and, you know, put the gun to his head and killed himself. Tragic, man. Tragic, you know. So just when I think of things like that and I think about how vibrant and alive and how sharp and how smart this brother was, for him to come out here and do that, I would have never imagined that. Just knowing his character, I would have never seen that in him. You know, I felt like he had a lust for life. He wanted to live. He had a lot of talent. He could have did a lot of things with his life. But to see him do that and actually witness it, it just blew my mind. Which lets you know, no matter what you've seen in life and what you've been through, things will still blow your mind. That blew my mind because I would have never guessed that for Low. You know, and yeah, it was tragic, man. He killed his brother and he took his own life, man, within 48 hours. And just imagine how his mother felt. She lost 2 sons. 2 sons, you know. So it's just a horrible situation. And I don't know what demons he was dealing with within his heart or within his mind, but whatever it was, he couldn't contain it. He couldn't control it, you know. And coming from out of this vicious world that you just survived, and then you get out here in the free world where everything is open up to you. All you have to do is apply yourself and go get it. He felt like he had to do that for whatever reason, man. And I'm still shocked about that. I'm still shocked out about that, man, because this dude was very, very talented, man. I'm talking about he did spoken word so good in there. He had females in there crying. He had dudes in there with tears in their eyes because of the truth that he spoke about our history, about, you know, where we came from to where we going to where we need to be. And he just was sharp like that. He could articulate them words and put them in order, whereas you could feel the message that he was delivering every time he did spoken word, man. Him and Wale, my boy Wale, shout out to him. Him and Wale was the best I've seen at that spoken word in my entire life. Even the people that I've witnessed since I've been out on YouTube or on TV or wherever. Them two right there was very, very talented and they was great. And as I told y'all, Wale is, though, you can find him on YouTube right now. Wale, W-A-L-I, the Black Pope. You can see him making a speech at Howard University. You can see how articulate and how sharp he was. And Low was of the same ilk. He was cut from that same cloth. He could do the same thing. You know, he could put them words together and make you feel it, man. But the transition from prison to the street was overwhelming to him enough that he did what he did without even being out here a good year, you know. So, like I say, it's real, man, because you're coming from a different lifestyle, you're coming from a different environment, you have adapted to living a certain way, and when you get out of here, everything is different. Everything on the street is different from prison. Everything in prison is different from the street. And when I say different, I mean completely different. People is not doing what they're doing out here in there. People in there are not doing what they're doing in here out here. So it's a different mindset, and you got to be prepared for that, because if not, you're going to be shocked and you're going to be overwhelmed. And I guess that's what happened to him. I could only guess, you know, because I don't know. But I do know he was a good brother, man. And he was a good brother, man. His life gone too soon. Very, very, very too soon, man. He was a really, really talented brother who could have did a lot of things with his life. I don't think Lowe was, I don't even think he was 35 years old. I don't even think he was 35 years old, and he lost his life just like that, man, off of emotions, off of confusion, off of, you know, not being able to cope with everything that's going on around him, things not going his way. In penitentiary, you can more or less, nothing's going to go your way because you locked up. They're going to always have control over you, but you can control your environment in prison. You can control who you deal with, how they deal with you, and how you live your life. You can control that. Out here is not so much, because you got to fit in out here versus in prison. You can make people fit into your world by the way you carry yourself. So it's a different atmosphere, man, and it's very confusing at times. Yeah, it gets very, very, very confusing at times, man. But I'm sad for him, man. God rest his soul and his brother, and, you know, bless his mom and his family, because I know that was a terrible blow to the family, man. Terrible blow. And to everybody who knew about it, who was locked up with him, all that I spoke to, all that spoke to me about the situation was shocked and amazed. Lowe? You talking about Lowe? Yeah, Lowe. Lowe gone, man, and took his brother with him. Crazy, you know what I'm saying? Very crazy. And it's more. It's a lot of stories like that. And I'm talking about since I've been out. Within 2.5 years, 2.5 to 3 years, dudes have came out here and wasn't able to function. Wasn't able to get it right. You know, look at Block. I told y'all about Block. I did a whole story on Block. You know, Southside Block, man. Vicious, notorious, gangster dude. You know, but he could not transition. Block gave away life sentence. He had a life sentence for murder. Went to prison. Was in prison considering himself doing life. And don't know when you're going to get out when you got life in Virginia. You don't know. You got life sentence. They ain't never got to let you out. It's up to their discretion. Block doing life, and come to find out the lawyer that was on his case and the prosecutor, they did a lot of foul stuff. So a lot of those cases was getting overturned, and these dudes was getting new chance at life. Now you talking about a dude that got life, and you get a new chance because, you know, what the people did that was wrong, that was unethical. That's like, man, that's like a miracle to you, because right now you looking at a barrel of life that you don't even know if you're gonna ever hit the street again, and then you get this type of news. So I remember when he got that type of news, I was with him. I was on Augusta with him, and before he got that news, he was waiting on to see what was gonna happen with his situation. At that time, he was waiting. Somebody killed his best friend on the street. And he heard about somebody killing his best friend, and that person didn't get locked up, but the streets was talking, everybody knew who did it. So Block was going around the penitentiary telling dudes that if he do get out, he got to have the dude that took his homeboy life. If he out there, when I get out there, he dead. He dead. And he's literally saying that to people. So people that was inside the prison who really knew Block knew that was a real possibility, not just him talking, because Block don't just talk to be talking. Once Block get mad and get there, biting that tongue, and man, I'm telling you right now, and he talk with a lisp, he be biting his tongue when he talk as well. If I get out and he's still out there, he through. And man, he was serious, because things came to pass, and I think it was Governor Wilder did overturn his case as well as other people's case and sent him straight home. So now he come up off a life sentence thinking that he gonna do the rest of his life in prison, or however much time he gonna do in prison, and go straight home. Man, Block went out there a good year. And to the best of my understanding, he rolled up on that dude that's supposed to have killed his homeboy on a bicycle with a sawed-off shotgun and blew his face off and pedaled away, you know. And he wasn't as fortunate as the dude who killed his homeboy, where ain't nobody tell on him when he didn't get caught, because he got caught. Now he goes back to court, get another life sentence and some change, and come back to prison. So just imagine overcoming a life sentence and getting out and having a new chance at life, and you go out there and you try to avenge one of your friends' death, and then you back in prison with another life sentence. What's your chances on getting out? What's your chance if people feel like they gave you a break, even though they felt like you might have been guilty, but people did some unethical stuff which warrants you getting out, getting a new chance at life? You're supposed to take that and run with it. You're supposed to take that and be like, that's a gift from God. He goes out there and do what he said he was going to do because he said he was going to do it to too many people. And his ego would not let him, you know, let that go. And man, I can remember leaving Augusta after I got into some foolishness and Big Raymond and all other types of stuff and going to Mecklenburg. And when I go to Mecklenburg, I go right in the pod. Block is back in the penitentiary already there. Already there. You know, and settled in his mind that he ain't gonna never see the streets no more. Settled in his mind that he ain't gonna never see the streets no more. And he was kind of like losing his mind because he was the same, but he won't the same. You know, he started just doing crazy stuff, just started snapping off sometimes. I told you he was wrestling the dude precinct there one time and just put him in a chokehold, and they was playing, and he was choking the man to death, man, and me and some other dudes had to pull him up off of him, and the only excuse Block had was, I just snapped, man. I'm sorry, man, I just snapped. I snapped. He was losing it, you know. He already was a big, strong dude anyway, short but stocky and strong. I mean, bench press over 400 easy, super strong. And now he started playing with them Bethlehems. You know, he started getting knives and got fascinated with knives and making knives and, you know, talking about he can't wait for somebody to mess up so he can try it on him and stuff like that. So this dude was a problem, you know what I'm saying? Because he was losing it. And people loved him on the street, man. People sent him money all the time. He still had homeboys send him a lot of money. Block might get $1,000. Block might get $500 from a homeboy, $650 from a homeboy. And he was generous. He was a good, kind-hearted dude. He'd get that money. Money meant nothing to him. Nothing. When I tell you nothing, he one dude that I met that money ain't mean nothing to him. Block gets $600, $650, and Block would go to the store and spend $500 and just buy food and set food out for everybody to eat. Everybody, man, come on, we eating tonight, man. We gonna party tonight, man. I got everything. We gonna set it all up. Somebody cook this, somebody cook that, all of it, man. Everybody in the park can come eat. And everybody come out there, eat, watch a basketball game, watch a football game or whatever. You know, somebody done made some wine. So we sitting in there like a whole party on Block. The Block don't care. He don't care nothing about money. He'll spend it fast as he get it. If he get 1,000, he'll spend 900. If he get 600, he'll spend 550. He ain't care, because back then you can go to the store and spend what you want. And that's what he did. You know, and I told y'all in another story too, I believe we had the 13-inch big color TV. Block got so tired of his TV one day, he said he was bored with it. He offered a dude to trade his TV for a radio. He just wanted music, and he said he ain't want TV no more. He ain't want to look at TV. You know what I'm saying? We had the big boom boxes and everything. Might cost you about $180, $150. The 13-inch TV cost you $350. And he was trying to make us even trade. Dude jumped right on that. Dude gave him his radio, took his TV, and Block was serious. Because like I say, he wasn't a dude to speak just to be speaking. If he say something, he was profound. He meant what he said. He said, man, I don't even want this TV no more, man. Somebody trade me TV for the radio. You can get this color TV just for the radio. I just want a radio. I ain't watching no TV no more. Ain't nothing on there but some food. And he did it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the type of dude he was. Now, mind you, he got this new life sentence and he done got off of a life sentence. So, you know, it's hard enough as it is to get out of prison, let alone to get out of prison on a life sentence. He done did it. Now he back with a life sentence. So the chances, like I say, is slim to none that he'll get out again. But guess what? He got out again. Got out before me. Imagine that. I'm telling you, this man was in prison when I come to prison with a life sentence for a body, get out, go out there, get another body, get another license, and still make it out of penitentiary before I did. Twice. You know what I'm saying? So that lets you know what the system is like. That lets you know that, you know, even if you got a license or you got a license, you ain't guaranteed to get out of the system, especially in Virginia. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they calculate. I don't know what they look at. But Block got out of prison again before me. He was out here before I got out. I got out in 2020. Block was already out here. Was already out here. I never ran into him. I talked to him once on the phone with somebody else. Sent me pictures of him out on the street, and just to see him in street clothes just blew my mind. But he got out of prison before I did. And the sad part about it is now he back in prison. Back in prison because he got out here and caught a drug habit. You know, and he had to feed that drug habit. And then all the love dried up when you're in prison with a dude sending you money, doing this, doing that. Now you out here on the street, so dudes is less likely to give you things because you out here and you can get it yourself. You can make it yourself. So they say, man, he was out here and he had caught that habit of getting high, and, you know, he just started taking money. You know, he just started taking it. If he ain't get it, he started a whole game like up robbing people, taking their money, robbing the drug, robbing the dudes that used to look out for him, don't want to look out for him no more. He take it. You see what I'm saying? But this is his character. You know what I'm saying? He's a gangster at the end of the day, you know, with a big heart, size of Texas. And he ain't scared at all. And obviously, you know, he just felt like this is what he gonna do. But at the same time, don't you think in his mind, he got to be thinking, man, I can't go back to prison. I know for sure if I came off a life sentence and again got another one, then I go back again, he ain't know where in the world I go, I'm coming out. So he got to know all of this. But that still did not compel him to act different, to respond different, to make better choices. It did not stop him because he started doing what he was doing. And then it was known. Then they talking on the street, man, Block robbing people again, man, Block doing this, Block doing that. You see what I'm saying? And you just beat 2 life sentences, man. Back to back. And you in the free world. It's nothing that me, I ain't going back. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But for him, I guess he felt different. I felt the pull of the drug and the need to get high was stronger than, yeah, it was greater than the need to stay free. Greater than your freedom, man. That's how much drugs would distort your brain. That's how much drugs would mess your life up. After all he been through and all he had to endure in there, and he went through a lot. Block was a warrior in there. You know, to put yourself in harm's way to go back because you trying to feed a habit is just crazy. You know, and to the best of my understanding, man, he ended up, you know, pulling a robbery. I think it was at like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven or something like that, man. And him and another dude. And the other dude was locked up, did 20-some years. I was around him too, did 20-some years, who had a brother who also did 30-something. Yeah. And they ended up pulling this robbery, man, and somehow the people, you know, they just had so much bad luck or whatever, while they in there actually robbing the place, that the police actually pulled up. The police actually pulled up and caught him in the act, man. So they done. You know what I'm saying? Block is definitely done. I don't know how much time he ended up getting, but I know he'll never see the streets again. He'll never see the streets again. This is actually 3 strikes, but 3 strikes with life sentences, and then you out here committing a violent crime. They never gonna let him see the streets again. So he'd have committed himself to dying in prison. That's what I'm talking about transitioning, coming out here and getting your mind right, being able to focus and being able to navigate out here, because you go through so much in there and have to navigate so much different stuff, man. When you get out here, it's not easy by no means, but it should be doable, man, because you done just went through holy hell. You know, you done just went through holy hell for decades. You know, so it's crazy to me. And the reason why I know we ain't getting out no more, because even when I was in re-entry, Pete Pierce, shout out to Pete Pierce, the leader of re-entry, the head lady in there, she came around to us during one of our morning meetings and gave a speech and talked about that. She was like, if you dudes get out of here and you don't have your mind right, if you're not prepared for the streets and you go out here with this foolishness, this is what's going to happen to you. And she brought his name up and said, this is what just happened to him, because it had just happened. And, you know, they notified him. They notified the parole board. They notified her. And she knew about this information that she shared it with us. And I'm sitting there, because I know the guy. She used his government name, and I'm still listening. I'm like, what? And I couldn't even believe. She said, yeah, he was right here. He went through the same class that y'all going through. He was a laundromat. He worked up there cleaning clothes. He was a good dude. He was smart. He was courteous. He was kind. And look at what he out there doing. Because he got out there and let the world overwhelm him, and he got caught up. And now he ain't gonna see the streets no more. Cause I can tell you that right now, cause the parole board ain't gonna never give him parole no more. They not gonna let him out. No matter what. You know, and that's crazy, man, because Block's still young. You know what I'm saying? And just to know for a fact that you won't get out, man, that plays on your psyche too while you in there. You go through a lot. You know, what gets most people through a day in prison is the fact that they will one day see freedom again. So just imagine taking that off the table. What's going to get you through every day? When you waking up every day dealing with this, dealing with that, dealing with foolishness, dealing with violence, dealing with unfairness, dealing with mistreatment, dealing with being treated like a subhuman. What's going to get you through to that if you ain't got nothing to look forward to tomorrow? Nothing. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be out here. You know, just the hope, just the belief, just the love, just the, you know, the frame of mind that I'm going to one day see the streets. If I didn't have that, I would be reckless, super reckless. Super reckless on top of what I already had to do just to live and survive in prison. It would be at another level because you have nothing to lose, literally, because your life is already gone. So, man, it's crazy, man. So, yeah, Block, man, he ended up getting locked back up, man. And he in there now, man. I did the video on him. If y'all ain't seen it, go watch the video, Southside Block. It'll tell you some of the things and some of the ways he act when he was in prison. When he had a shot to get out. Now he has none. So I don't know what he might be doing in there. I just pray for him. Hope he doing well. But I know that he going through it. I know he regretting his decisions. I know he wishing he would have made better choices. I know that for a fact. Because that ain't no place you want to be, man. No place you want to be. I can guarantee you that. The worst thing that's going on out here is everyday life in there. I'm going to say that again. The worst things going on out here is everyday life in there. And don't nobody want to live like that, man. But they have to because of the choices that they make. They have to because of the choices that they make, man. And it happens more often than not, man. You know, the little dude, man, that everybody used to say was my little brother, say he looked like me, that came in prison when he was 15. 15 years old. He was in the hole. They wouldn't even let him out in population. He was so young. On Mecklenburg. And then when he did get out and I ran into him on other camps, everybody used to call him like my little brother, man, Little Billy. Love Little Billy to my heart, man. Big old heart, man. Little young, but he'll go hard. He go hard as I don't know what. And I just recently got in touch with him since I've been out here on the street and wasn't even but a couple of months ago. And he been out here way before I did, years. Maybe 8 to 10 years. And he still can't get it right out here. He's still going through it. Still going through it. He was telling me when I did finally talk to him, man, he was so glad to talk to me. He was just getting out of jail. And I'm like, Billy, what you doing going? He said, man, I've been to jail about 5 times. I said, what you doing going back and forth to jail? Yeah, man, it's crazy out here, man. Crazy, man. You know? And then he told me, he said, man, I was messing with this girl, man. And I went to walk her home to the bus stop one day. And she got to argue with the dude out there at the bus stop. And then I tried to defend her, take up for her. And the dudes ended up stabbing me, man. Stabbed me like 7 times, man. I almost died. I was in a coma. For months, they thought I was going to die. I'm like, little Billy, come on, man. Tighten up. He was like, yeah, I know, man. And he locked back up right now.
Banky special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm going to have something because I'm rich in personality. You know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.